now? I've latched TX. That's latched 6 TX. Got me now? Good stuff. Yeah, sure. So Anglesey Circuit, Legends is coming up first. Qualifying session just finished. Quattro Formaggio, fastest time in qualifying, 2 minutes 1.819, and had Asmay at the wheel setting that time. Second quickest was Silver Lake 2 with Matt Parks. That's 2 minutes 1.948, about a tenth and a bit slower in that sense. Third quickest was Mackay Jones Racing with Aim Mackay in third, 2 minutes 2.116. Do you want me to take Latch 6 TX off for the moment?
Hi everybody, a very warm welcome to Anglesey Circuit for our Brscc live stream over 2 days. We've got some terrific racing ahead with C1s, of course. Those of you that joined us a few weeks ago at Silverstone for the 24 hours will know what a terrific race we had. We haven't got 24 hours of racing for you today. but we have got to wrap up the day a little bit later on a 4.5-hour endurance race for some of the leading contenders that were in the 24-hour race with us at Silverstone, and they've just completed their qualifying. They did a night practice yesterday just to familiarise themselves with the track in the dark conditions. They had the added problem of it being wet as well yesterday, so the drivers, they all went out and they had to cope with a little bit of rain. Now when I come to Anglesey, normally the weather is 100% sunshine and it's factor 20 on and shorts and everything else. Thankfully I'm sparing you the shorts this weekend. Rob Lewis, who's going to be doing the C1s, has still got his shorts on at the moment, so maybe later on we'll see Rob in shorts. But anyway, I won't dwell on that thought for the moment. Getting back to the weather, a little bit of cloud cover here. Normally it's blue skies and you can see the mountains of Snowdonia in the distance. It's the most picturesque race circuit that you can come to here in the UK. I can hear engines coming up, though the first race we're going to see will lead us into our lunch break, so there will be a little break after our first race. And the first race of the day is for a guest formula for Brscc this weekend, and that's the National Legends Cars Championship, who are going to be coming onto the track very shortly. They have 3 races per day, and their event winner is not the winner of race 3, which they do dub the final, which is the winner on points over the day, so we will talk to their drivers a little bit later on. What else have we got for you over the course of the 2 days? A really very good Brscc meeting. We've got the National Formula Ford Championship, we've got the Classic Formula Fords, we've got the Nankang Tyres BMW and CityCar Cup in separate races. We've got the STXR Challenge with the Hondas as well. I'm sure I've missed something else out that we will have in the mix. It's the Supercars. How could I forget the British Supercar Championship are here as well, and that is absolutely thrilling racing and probably going to be the fastest formula of the day, and they're going to be out immediately after our lunch break for their first race of the weekend. The team, as I've already mentioned, we've got Rob with us, who's on C1 pit lane duty, when I'll be joining the main man in the commentary box for the course of the weekend a little bit later on, and that is Scott Woodward. But if we turn our attentions to the circuit, Kev, we've got cars coming on track now, and it's the Legends cars. Just to give you a little bit of background on the Legends cars, these are 5/8 scale replicas of the American cars of the 1930s, powered by a Yamaha racing engine. The grids for the Legends cars are drawn by ballot, so there was a drivers' meeting at 9:30 this morning after qualifying, and the drivers draw their grid position by ballot. If you start at the front in race 1, then you're at the back in race 2, and then what they get their abacus out, or pen and paper, or dare I say even a laptop, work out the points from races 1 and 2. Whoever is the top scorer starts at the back for the third race. If you've had a rubbish day or an average day, you'll start down the front, so the lower point scorers in race 3 will start down towards the front of the grid. So it's great racing, it's mixed grid racing. The cars are on the warm-up lap, so I'm going to hand you over to Scott Woodward, who's going to call you through all the action. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you very much, Richard. Yes, good afternoon, good morning everybody, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to Anglesey for this racing action here at the Brscc event, and as you can see, the Legends are out on circuit. This is actually a bit of a history this weekend. It is the first time ever that the Legends have been on a timetable for the British Racing and Sports Car Club, so welcome to them for the very first time. Brilliant to have them, and if you've ever watched them race before, it's brilliant, and as we always say, if you've ever raced them before, and I genuinely do mean it when I say this, you're in for an absolute treat. These are fantastic little muscles, they're powered by bike engines, and they are quite short, very fast in the machines, and they've got quite a bit of a show wherever they go. So, as we get set for racing, we're going to quickly run you through the grid for race number 1, which of course is set by grid ballot. So, in that instance, we can show you the grid. So the grid is as follows. So by ballot, it's Steve Whiteleg who starts on pole position in car number 66. Alongside him is Luke Simmons in car number 25. Then it's row 2, Ben Higgins in car number 20, and Charlie Budd, number 44. Dan Clark and Paul Simmons, cars 14 and 51, come next on row 3. Luke Takushis and Marcus Pelt come up on the 4th row of the grid. Actually, it's other way around. Lucas Simmons on pole position, so it's Simmons and Whiteleg on the front row of the grid. Budd and Higgins second, Paul Simmons, Dan Clark third, and Pett and Takushis on the 4th row of the grid. Chris Needham and Nathan Anthony are on the 5th row of the grid to round out the top 10, and Chris Brockhurst and Ollie Schlapp on the 6th row. 7th row of the grid is Mark Beattie, car number 85, and Mike Schlapp, car number 3, followed by Florian Robin and Kieran Beattie on the 8th row of the grid, ahead of John Mickle and Will Gibson on the 9th row, and then Gareth Sheridan and Gary Whiteleg, who was about second or third in points in the mix up in the top 20. And it's Miles Rudman, the championship leader, back in 21st after that random draw ballot draw. 22nd for Jack Parker, 23rd for Leonard Woodcock alongside Bridgman, and then Stuart McAndrew and Bill Reed rounds out the 26-car grid that we have for this weekend's race. So this is, they run a heat system, so there'll be first of 2 heats. The first one is 8 laps long, so it's 8 laps of the Anglesey International Circuit, and these cars will be going at it very, very shortly. So the runyourfleet.com Jaguar safety car pulls in, and it is going to be on the front row of the grid. The pairing of Luke Simmons, who will be on the on the right-hand side of the screen in the black and green car. The red car of Steve Whiteleg, looking for the red lights top of the screen. They go out any second now, and we're Legends racing at Anglesey. It's a good start from the front row of the grid as they head up towards turn 1 for the very first time. And let's see if either Whiteleg or Simmons can get the whole shot turning into left-hander. They are still side by side, and the second row pair are also side by side as well. Looking to the outside, Charlie Budd to make it 3 abreast for P2, but up the inside pass also to Luke Simmons, stopped by Steve Whiteleg and also Ben Higgins. So it is Whiteleg who leads. It's Higgins in second place, and down to third has gone Luke Simmons as they go up towards the right-hander of Rocket for the first time. There goes Luke Simmons trying to get back up the inside, but the door firmly shut in his face by Ben Higgins. They go 2, 3 abreast down this back straight out of Church, up towards the Rocket complex through School Curve. Flapping in the wind as they come up towards the top of the circuit at Rocket. Now as they turn their way up towards the end of the complex to Rocket for the first time, and still it looks as though it's going to be the Whiteleg that leads. Whiteleg passing continuing on, back further back, 99 and 80 going after. That's Gareth Sheridan and Gary Whiteleg who started alongside each other on the 10th row of the grid, but there is a just about change for second because Luke Simmons gets back into P2 and also trying to get muscle in there is Ben Higgins, and I think Charlie Budd is still in there as well. In fact, he might be dropped back to the second part of this leading group as they turn through. So over the crest, over the top of the hill, Whiteleg leads the way, Simmons in second place. And then in third place, it looks like it might be the Paul Simmons or Dan Clark that's moved up. I'll have to look at the number. I think it's car 51. So we'll double check the number on that for a second as they come through. I'll also look at the timing screen to confirm that that's the case. Up to the end of the first lap they'll come. And Whiteleg looking to try and extend his advantage here as they come up towards the final corner of the bus stop. Down with Tom Price. Big lock up from the 89 behind. That was a big lock up for Chris Brockhurst in the middle of the pack. He just about avoids getting tapped by the 44 Charlie Budd. Charlie Budd has really fallen back from the second row of the grid to try and make up some places in this very short 8-lap sprint. So Whiteleg leads, it's Simmons in second place, and the car in third place is about Marcus Pett. He started in 7th place, but the silver and red car up into a podium position already, which is looking pretty strong. 4th place currently for the 20 Ben Higgins. 5th place has gone to the 98 of Chris Needham, who started in 9th place. And of course, this is the beauty of a random grid draw, is because it's a random grid draw, you get some of the faster guys deeper in the pack, some of the maybe not as quick guys that you typically see towards the rear, and it really mixes up the action here, and this is what's so good, particularly with this short heat format. You now see car number 4 tucked into the slipstream, and that is John Mickle. He is the current points leader and multiple-time champion in Legends. He looks up the inside to make a position. It's 3 abreast. He goes wide with the 99 and the 44. So he was going toe-to-toe with Gareth Sheridan and Charlie Budd. Charlie Budd, a former mini racer, so not too dissimilar to the minis that he's used to. As they come up now towards the right-hander at the peel at the top section, and then up towards the corkscrew left-hander that takes them up the Tom Price straight and towards the international hairpin. So extending his lead now, Steve Whiteleg in car number 66, challenge on for second down the outside now. This looks like it's going to be Marcus Pett trying to make a move. Lots of positions swapping in the mid-pack as well. There's car number 9. Car number 9 is one of the Schlups, Ollie Schlupp. Came across the line at the end of the first lap in 11th place. So he's going to try and make his way up into the top 10 if he can. As they come towards the end of this second lap. The order will remain, I think, relatively unchanged at the front. So across the line they go. Whiteleg leads, but Pett is now up to second place. So he has got around the 25 of Ben Simmons. And Simmons now, the aim now for Pett will be to try and break clear from Simmons behind him, and then start to move away out in front to try and catch the race leader, Steve Whiteleg, currently in car 66. Right hand of Church. Now back in the slipstream, Ben Simmons looking for a move, also moving up well. That's car 98, so that's Needham. And Needham, his grid draw, Chris Needham, was back in 9th place on the grid, so he's now got to do some work alongside Ben Higgins, who started on the second row. So we've got a quartet here for second place. Whiteleg has that gap out to 2 seconds as he comes up through the right-hander at Peel. Now that gap is starting to close up a little bit more because John Mickle, remind you, John Mickle started all the way back in 17th position, so he's already made up 11 spots in about 2.5 laps, which is pretty impressive for the multiple-time former champion. Of course, he's also been a former star of when we used to have the ASCAR races of the Days of Thunder, the SCSA stock cars, so John's certainly used to this these short oval-style machines. A bit more scrapping, lots of battling further on for position. To the left-hander into the end of the bus stop, dive down the inside for car number 3. It's another one of the Schlups, and that is Mike Schlupp, and he has got past car number 33 there. So car 33 was Kieran Beattie. Kieran started in 16th place. Just a reminder of the points coming into the weekend. Miles Rudman leads the way with 3,540 from John Mickle in 2nd place, and then it's Will Gibson in 3rd. Steve Whiteleg, who's out in front at the moment, in 4th position, and Marcus Pett, who's chasing him down in 5th. Is in 2nd place. He's in 5th in points at the moment with 2,495. Miles Rudman, meanwhile, looking to where he's currently sat at the end. They couldn't actually see him take the start, so nothing from Miles Rudman. He was drawn on the grid, but not currently present. Side by side for position. That's 29 and 57. So that's Anthony and Gibson. Anthony on the outside, Gibson trying to take the inside line. Meanwhile, John Mickle continues to move up as we're now on to lap 4 of 8, and that was Mickle ahead, I think, looks like, of Ben Higgins and possibly of Higgins and Simmons, I think. So you've got past 2 of them. And Mickle now is past the 20 car, I think, of Simmons, of Higgins as well. So he should be now into around about 3rd or 4th position. There's the corkscrew once again. Mickle now, he's got past ahead both Higgins Simmons, and Higgins is also past Simmons at the same time, so there's a strap on now for 4th position. There's Charlie Budd, car 51, looking a bit further back. At this moment appears to be Paul Simmons. He started 5th on the grid, so he's got fallen back into the mid-pack here, as John Mickle's next targets, of course, are Pett and Needham. And it looks like, I think, has Needham got to 2nd place? Yes, he has, so Needham, Chris Needham has managed to overhaul Marcus Pett and has managed to squeeze through. And to turn in through turn 1, there is quite creatively named corner here, up towards the hairpin. Battles galore as they turn in through the right-hander. And up the inside, big dive, that was the 57 going up the inside there, so that was 57 Will Gibson, started 18th and passing the 99, so that's so the 89, that would have been of Chris Brockhurst. So Brockhurst losing a spot, and that would have been Gibson up to 9th position. Simmons going to go for another place, and here he goes, he's looking for another place now. This is on Gibson on Simmons, so he's passed one of them, and in quick succession up to another one. So that's now up into what looks to be, I think, about 8th place. Up into the complex at Rocket, onto lap 5. Sideways as well, car 13 was all out of shape just there on the screen. That was Jack Parker. Jack currently running in 13th place, he's up 9 spots and 22nd. As they come up through the right-hander at Peel again, and back towards the corkscrew in the Tom Price International Straight. There's car number 1. There is Miles Rudman. I was wondering where he got to in the mix, but he's currently trying to battle his way through, not having the best of runs so far compared to the others. Trying to move up now in 15th place. Inside the top 15, he's trying to make a move down the outside now of the 29. The first 4 vans, the unique kind of almost van-shaped legend, because there are some that are of the traditional old-school Ford coupes of the 30s, but there are 1 or 2 which run the van body, which is quite unique. See there, cars 13 and 14, so that's the 14 of Dan Clark, started 6th, but he's dropped back a few places. He's now trying to make up more positions. Currently sat in 13th place. There's Steve Whiteleg, continuing to lead. His gap is 3.6 seconds, and now the scrap for second is between Needham, Mickle and Pett, because Mickle has split both Chris Needham and Marcus Pett, and now he's on course to try and possibly take second place as they turn in through Church Corner. Now they turn out through Church, down to this long section down School Straight and up towards Rocket. So going to be able to make a squeeze through. It's still side by side now between the Higgins and Simmons, and up the inside he goes, and there goes John Mickle trying to make a move up the inside now for second position, but it looks so at the moment that Needham has got the measure of him so far, holding the defensive line. Now come up towards the end of another lap. Now onto lap 6. There's this and a couple more laps to go. Still on for second place. Just behind them, we can still see that scrap going on between Higgins and Simmons. Buddy's now back down to 8th position because it looks like Gibson, the 57, has managed to squeeze his way through 2. And also keep an eye on the progress of Miles Rudman. He's made up 3 more spots in one position in one lap. The start of the penultimate lap. Back their way through towards the end of the hairpin. And now that John Mickle has got to second place now, past Needham, his task is now going to be to try and charge off after the leader Whiteleg. He's only got about a lap and a half to do that, and looking at lap times, his last lap was practically the same as leader pace. They both did low 1:44s, but Whiteleg's was a fraction faster because he was battling, because Mickle was battling for second and third. There's number 1, Miles Rudman, the black car with the yellow number, which is behind him, 51 and 89, Simmons and Brockhurst. Now back to second place, and Needham has managed to squeeze back through, so Mickle has lost that position once again, and now got to keep an eye on Marcus Pett. He's waving to the right-hand side. Come on, go past me this time. I want to try and draft you, but that tactic might not work too much. Either that, we were setting him up for an undercut, because he now says, right, pass on the left-hand side. Now, is that either because he's indicating he has a problem or simply wants to try and get a toe? Is it a cheeky tactic here, or is there a problem here for Needham? Meanwhile, Steve Whiteleg continues on. Now turn out of the hairpin up towards the bus stop for the second to last time. Another move onto the last lap of this race. So Whiteleg's then his gap across the line. Whiteleg to what I think should be still Needham is across the line. No, it's Mickle in fact actually, because Needham was having that problem. So the gap is now 4.2 seconds, but the pace is fairly similar at this point. Come back into the hairpin, still Pett putting Mickle under pressure here as they turn out through the hairpin and now up towards banking and up through the right hander at Church. Still Mickle threat from Pett as they come through. Trying to get the switch back here as they turn through. I think that Pett might just try and get an undercut here if he swings up towards Peel for the last time. He jinks out, has a look, but Mickle's got this one covered so far. And I think he might just be able to hold on to this. Steve Whiteleg down towards the hairpin for the final time, and it looks as though he's going to have this one all sewn up for heat number 1. It might not be so clean for second place though. Up towards the final corner, Whiteleg I think will just about hold on to take the race victory. Checker flag is out on the pit straight as the battle continues over second place, but Steve Whiteleg takes victory in heat number 1 of the National Legends here at Anglesey. The scrap for second goes right to the line, and it is Mikkel who wins it ahead of Pet. And Gibson takes 4th, and Needham was dropping back. It looks like he had some kind of a problem. And unfortunately, it looks as though he had an issue which has dropped him all the way down the order and will not see the flag. So incredible stuff from the National Legends. Of course, they will have 2 more races today, this afternoon. They'll have a second heat and then a 25-minute final. Come onto the slowdown lap after that one. A brilliant performance from Steve Whiteleg. He waves to the cameras and to many of the spectators that are currently around the circuit as well. So excellent stuff from the National Legends. 2 more races coming up for them, and of course we go into the lunch break now before we have some more brilliant racing coming up from the likes of British Supercars, National Formula Fords, BMW Compact Cup, and everything else in between. And it should be a fantastic afternoon's races. So let's just give you a quick run through of the results then from race number 1, the National Legends, coming up on screen. So results then, it is a victory for Steve Whiteleg in first position, Mikkel in second place, Pet in third, then Gibson, Simmons, Rudman, who finished 6th after a good recovery drive. 7th place goes to Higgins, 8th to Budd, 9th to Simmons. And it's running out the top 10 is Brockhorst. Then Anstey 11th place. It's the Schlupsen 12th and 13th. Needham 14th. 15th position goes to Bridgman. 16th is Sheridan. 17th place is Takushis. 18th place is Whiteleg. 19th is Beattie. 20th is Reed. And then in the mix as well, 21st is Beattie, and all the way down to the rest of the order, which is 22nd place for Robin, 23rd for for Clark, 25th for Parker, 26th for McAndrew, and that finishes off those finishes as well. So those cars heading into pit lane, Richard John Neal will pick them up very shortly, and you'll be able to have a chat to our top 3 down on that one as well. So stay tuned for more action coming up, and we will hand to Richard very shortly for his top 3 interviews from our first National Legends race of the day.
As well. So those cars heading to pit lane, Richard John Neal will pick them up very shortly, and we'll be able to have a chat to our top 3 down as well. So stay tuned for more action coming up, and we'll hand to Richard very shortly for his top 3 interviews from our first National Legends race of the day.
Thanks very much, Scott. Hope you enjoyed the Legends race. It was tough for some of the championship front runners to come through from the back of the field there, and we've got a 6 different winner. So I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3. We'll have a word with Steve Whiteleg first. I don't think he's going to practice the gear stick side of getting out of the car, which is a new directive that the MSA have said after some incidents at Brands Hatch earlier on in the year, and we were listening to the Legends cars briefing this morning, and at Donington, which is the next Legends round in a few weeks, they've got to prove they can get out of either side of the car in a safe time. That's for another day. I don't think Steve got out of the difficult side of the car, but we're going to have a quick word with him. He looks a bit puffed out, actually. And normally, if I talk to a driver before the race and sort of big him up and whatever, I don't need to big this guy up because he's a lovely fella anyway, but normally it doesn't work. But here we've doubled up on the interview. Steve, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And joining the winners list for this year. Well done.
Yes, that was the plan. We were starting on the front of the grid, and I thought the only way I'm going to get anywhere is to try and get away at the front while everybody else was battling behind. But I was very mindful that the rest of the guys can bump draft and catch. We made it to the end. Well, actually, if you wish.
Yeah, you've got a lot of work to do, haven't you, for the first time works, and yeah, so a lot of work for you to do. And not to say that wasn't hard work, because you've still got to pedal the car, and in some respects being away on your own can be more difficult than battling, because it can take the focus away.
That's right. Being on your own, you tend to have to set your own pace, and if the pace isn't quick enough, then everybody else catches you up. So yeah, working through from the back. I mean, John started near the back. The speeds are quite top end, difficult to get through.
Well done, really good to see you getting that win, and we'll see you on the podium again a little bit later on. Now I'm walking away from John Mickle, but that's not erroneous, because I'm wondering whether we can get, I'm not sure if we got the signal when we were near the wall, so maybe Barry can let us know. John, sorry to drag you away, just so we can get a good signal for our viewers on the live stream. Great to see you. Great to see you on the podium. And that was a tough race. We saw some of your main rivals in the championship struggle to come through the field. I mean, Will and Miles were quite a way back, which we're not used to. But you are still here, up at the sharp end, and the new lap record to boot. Well done on that.
Oh, well done. Thank you very much. Yeah, the quick steel car's very good. It's been on pace in practice this morning. I think the benefit from what I've got for the rest of them is I've actually done the circuit, and so has Steve. And there isn't many people done that circuit before. It's just usually the little squiggle back down to start finish straight. So it was just nice to obviously do that circuit, and we knew what way it went and what times we'd do and how to set the car up. But yeah, the quick steel car was quick, and we had a good result, so we can't really fault that.
It's a nice, great big long, is it a flowing circuit rather than twists and turns?
Yeah, it is a flowing circuit with twists and turns. It's one of them tracks where if you have one bad bend, it messes up 3 or 4. It's a flowing track, and it's you need to hold an old head, and that's what I've got. So hopefully we can use it to benefit this weekend.
We saw on the footage, I think it was Chris Needham was doing a little bit of gesticulating. Was he waving you through? Did he have an issue, or was it to try and get you through and then work with you to catch Steve?
I think the 98 was Matt Isherwood, and I think what he had a mechanical failure. So he got back by me, and it seemed to die up the top of the hill, and I think he just put the hand up because I was a bit close behind him and he wanted me running up the back. But no, he was very quick. I mean, they're all very quick. It's just putting a consistent lap together is going to be the difference between first and second this weekend.
Anyway, good podium start. No points for fastest lap, but a bit of pride going away with the new lap record here. And plan for race 2, whereabouts are you on the grid? Were you mid-grid in this one?
No, I think I was row 10, so I'd be like 2
Wow, well
rows.
back.
Yeah, well back. So I think I'd be 2 or 3 rows off the front, but the 57, the one would be with me. So race 2 should be interesting.
Yeah, we look forward to that. John, always a pleasure. Thanks for chatting to us. Well done on P2, new lap record. And our third driver was Marcus Pett. He's just engaging in a little bit of a chat with Steve Whiteleg. Marcus, again, we'll get you out here so we can get a good signal for our viewers. Many congratulations. Great to see you, and well done on the podium.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a really strong start to the weekend there. We had to make the most of starting towards the front of the grid in 7th, so we got a nice clean start, and yeah, had a nice battle with Chris and John. So
there are so few different race winners this year in the Legends Cars Championship. You're one of those drivers that has bagged a win. I know you've had a little bit of bad luck here and there. Hopefully that's behind you now for this season. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we've had some strong pace all year, but a few DNFs have creeped in, which we need to try and iron out. And I think we got to the bottom of the problem we had at Brands Hatch in the final race. So car felt good then, so ready to build on for the rest of the weekend.
What was that problem?
It's just an electrical misfire that just occurred as the engine was getting warm. So yeah, we did some testing yesterday, and I think we've got it sorted. So yeah.
Those electrical ones are the worst, aren't you, if you can't trace them?
They are, yeah. I was very nervous about coming all this way and struggling chasing the problem all day. So yeah, we got on a test day yesterday morning, and we put a finger on it, I think, and yeah, the car feels good. So I've just got to get more comfortable with this track layout, and yeah, hopefully challenge John and Steve towards the end of the day.
Same question of Steve, and John made the grid position for race 2. It's balloted, so wherever you started, it's reversed. Whereabouts were you on the grid?
So we started 7th in that one, so we're towards the rear for the next one. So plenty of work to do. So we'll make some adjustments to the car and try and find a little bit more pace, and hopefully we can come through the field strongly.
Great to see you on the podium, and thanks for chatting to us. Enjoy the break, such as it is. We've got a lunch break coming up. I think you guys have got to refill your cars. Is there much to do?
A few minor things, but no, the car felt good on the whole. So yeah, no, not too much.
Brilliant, Marcus. Great to see you. Well done. Congratulations on the podium. And that's our first race on our 2-day Brscc live stream complete here on the Isle of Anglesey. What a great circuit it is. I hope you got a flavour of it from the first race, and some superb racing. to be honest, whatever formula we put on first, you're going to have great racing here this weekend, but a reverse grid race to get things going here. And wonderful to have the Brscc hosting Legends Cars racing. The Brscc ran Legends Cars originally. They're the club that introduced Legends Cars to racing here in the UK, when Phil Cooper and Fraser Kennedy brought them over from the States all those years ago. And it's still a very, very strong formula, as you can see. I mentioned lunch break, so although we've only done one race, we have been working hard this morning, I promise you, and we're deserving of a break, as are the race marshals who are here, and all of the race officials who've been looking after the timekeeping and the officialdom over qualifying that we've had all morning. So we are going to take a little bit of a lunch break, and we'll be back very shortly with the Nankang CityCar Cup, which is going to be another thrilling race to look out for. I'm not sure if we're going to hand back to Scott in the commentary box first off, though. Yes, we are. So I'm going to hand back to Scott. Scott Willis, hope you enjoyed that race. Back to you.
I thoroughly did, yes, thank you for that, Richard. And just a reminder for those who are not just watching on the stream, but also watching around the circuit, because the comments are also going out on the circuit too. Just for those, a reminder of what's happening. So we are into a roughly about 50-minute lunch break or so, pretty much on time. So 50 minutes or so of lunch break, and then we'll be heading to our afternoon's action. So that starts with the Nankang Tyre CityCar Cup at about 2:15. That then goes on to the National Legends, and that's for heat, their second race. They'll have a second race for 10 laps this time against as 8 laps, in fact, actually, as well. Then from that, it will be the British Supercar Championship. The first of their races coming up at around about 3:20 estimate time. Then we've got the first of our races for our combined grid for the Avon Tyres National and Super Classic Formula 4 Championship, a near capacity grid of 33 cars competing on that, with best of the Nationals and best of the Northern drivers all together on the same grid. Then it's the Nankang Tyre BMW Compact Cup. That's around about 4:15. 10:05 is the Vinyl Detail STXR Challenge race. Then our final sprint race of the day is the final for the National Legends, 25 minutes, and that'll be around about 5:20. Then we go into a 45-minute supper break, and then viewers on this stream, this is when this stream will end, if you're watching on YouTube and on Facebook, and then the next stream will start up as a separate one for our main event of today, which is the 4.5-hour into the night race for race number 3 of the season of the Silver Lake C1 Racing Series. That's certainly one not to be missed. But for those around the circuit and those watching on the little stream, thanks for those being here so far, and we'll be back on track very shortly at around about roughly 2:15 for our second race of the day, which is the first of the weekend for the Nankang Tyre CityCar Cup. So join us then.